Could Apple be changing the iPhone lineup in a big way this year? It's starting to look that way. While we're still months away from the official launch, there's already news that one of the iPhone 17 models has passed a key development stage. This step is called engineering validation testing, or EVT. It might not sound exciting, but it's actually a major sign that the design is finalized and the internal hardware has been decided. Once a device clears EVT, it goes through more tests, like design validation testing and production validation testing, before it reaches full production. This timing lines up with Apple's usual routine, which means we can probably expect the iPhone 17 series to launch around September, just like previous models. Now, let's talk about what might be new this time. Several reports claim Apple is planning to launch 4 models again, but with one noticeable change. The iPhone Plus version might be replaced by a brand new model, the iPhone 17 Air. So the new lineup could include the iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Air, iPhone 17 Pro, and iPhone 17 Pro Max. The iPhone 17 Air is the one people are most curious about. Rumors say it might be Apple's thinnest phone ever, possibly around 5.4 millimeters thick. That's much slimmer than most other phones available right now. But making a phone that thin usually means cutting back on some features. In this case, the Air model might only come with one rear camera. Even so, the price might be just as high, or even higher, than the current Plus model. It seems Apple is building this model for users who care more about the way the phone looks and feels, rather than top-tier specs. A sleek design, lighter build, and thin frame could appeal to people who don't need multiple cameras. It's a move that makes sense, especially when we look at similar decisions from brands like Samsung, with its Galaxy S25 Edge. As for the regular iPhone 17, it might not change much on the outside. Most reports say it'll look a lot like the iPhone 16 with only small tweaks, but the Pro models are expected to get a few noticeable updates. Leaked images and reports suggest the back of the phone could have a bigger camera area. Some people like the bold change, while others are unsure, but when Apple updates its design, people always have strong opinions. The Pro models might also come with better camera technology. Right now, the telephoto lens is 12 megapixels. That could jump to 48 megapixels, which would be a big step up, especially for zoomed-in photos and portraits. If Apple goes through with this, it could help the iPhone 17 Pro stand out more from the base model and give people a stronger reason to upgrade. Another long-awaited update might finally happen on the base iPhone 17, a higher refresh rate. Many iPhone users have been asking for smoother screens. The current base models still run at 60 Hz, while even mid-range Android phones have already moved up to 120 Hz. If Apple gives the iPhone 17 a 120 Hz display, it would make everyday use, like scrolling and swiping, feel faster and smoother. So while the overall look of the iPhone 17 series might not seem very different at first, there are real changes happening under the surface. From a slimmer new model to upgraded cameras and possibly smoother screens, Apple seems to be focusing on things that actually affect the user experience. If you're interested in everything Apple is working on for the iPhone 17, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll keep you updated on all the latest leaks, rumors, and official announcements as they come out. What if the next big Samsung phone wasn't just about more power or better cameras, but a whole new way of thinking about design? The Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge is almost here, and while a launch date has shifted slightly, the excitement around it hasn't slowed down at all. Instead of arriving in mid-April, Samsung has now set the official release date for May 13, 2025. The change in schedule isn't due to hardware issues, but is more connected to internal changes within the company, especially after the sad passing of Jong-hee Han, the head of Samsung's mobile and electronics division. This shift has also affected how the phone will be revealed. Rather than going with a flashy in-person launch, Samsung is planning a simpler, online-only announcement. It looks like they're adjusting how they roll out new devices, spreading updates across the year instead of dropping everything at once. But even with a more low-key presentation, all eyes are still on what the Galaxy S25 Edge is bringing to the table. From what we know so far, the phone will feature a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display with a 120 Hz refresh rate. That means it's going to look vibrant and feel smooth whether you're watching videos, playing games, or just scrolling. Under the hood, it's expected to run on Qualcomm's newest chip, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4, also being called Snapdragon 8 Elite. This processor is said to deliver top-level speed and efficiency, perfect for multitasking and high-end mobile gaming. Memory and storage options will include 12 GB of RAM and up to 512 GB of internal space. But once again, Samsung isn't adding a microSD card slot, which might disappoint users who like having expandable storage. As for design, early leaks suggest that this could be Samsung's slimmest phone yet, possibly even under 6 mm thick. That would make it thinner than Apple's iPhone 16 Pro Max, giving it a sleek and premium feel. It will likely be available in stylish colors like titanium silver, jet black, and icy blue. The camera setup also sounds solid, though not quite as advanced as the Ultra version. It's expected to have a 200 megapixel main camera, paired with a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens. While it may not compete directly with the highest end models in terms of camera features, it should still deliver great shots for everyday users. One area where the phone might raise some questions is battery life. It's rumored to include a 3,900 mAh battery, which is smaller compared to the Galaxy S25 Plus. For a phone with a large screen and powerful processor, that could be a concern. Charging is expected to cap at 25 watts, which is decent but not exactly fast compared to some other brands. However, Samsung might be using software tricks and better heat management to make sure the battery holds up throughout the day. As for the price, the Galaxy S25 Edge is expected to launch at around 1,249 euros, or roughly 1,355 US dollars. That's more than the base S25 model, but not quite at ultra level. It's aimed at people who want something premium in design and performance without paying the highest price. With strong competition from more affordable Chinese brands, Samsung will need to prove that this phone really stands out. Production numbers are also telling. Samsung is reportedly planning to produce around 3 million units, which shows they're expecting strong demand. It seems this model is meant to strike a balance, not too basic, not too high-end, but just right for a lot of users. So the big day to keep in mind is May 13, 2025. That's when we'll know for sure how well the Galaxy S25 Edge lives up to the hype. If you're someone who wants a slim, premium-looking phone with solid performance, this could be the one to watch. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any updates. The iPhone 17 series is shaping up to be quite an upgrade, with leaks hinting at some noticeable design changes. Recent dummy models, likely molds used for prototypes, suggest variations in thickness, camera placement, and a key feature that some speculated Apple might remove. These early glimpses give us a better idea of what to expect from Apple's next-generation lineup. One of the most reassuring details from these leaks is that MagSafe will remain a part of all iPhone 17 models. There were concerns that the iPhone 17 Air, designed to be ultra-thin, might ditch MagSafe due to potential interference with the C1 chip. However, these leaks suggest Apple has found a way to keep MagSafe functionality intact, even with the slimmer build. This is great news for users who rely on MagSafe charging and accessories, proving that Apple isn't ready to move away from this feature just yet. Another interesting change comes with the front-facing camera placement on the iPhone 17 Air. Unlike previous models where a camera sits on the right side of the dynamic island cutout, leaks show that Apple has shifted it to the left. Meanwhile, the standard iPhone 17 and Pro models are expected to keep the camera in the usual position. While this might seem like a minor adjustment, Apple often makes subtle changes to distinguish its models, and this could be part of that strategy. When it comes to size, the leaks reveal noticeable differences. The iPhone 17 Air is expected to be the slimmest of the lineup, aligning with earlier reports that Apple is focusing on a super thin design. In contrast, the Pro models appear to be thicker than their predecessors, possibly to accommodate larger batteries or improved internal components. The standard iPhone 17, however, seems to maintain a similar thickness to current models. These size differences suggest that Apple is making trade-offs to balance portability, battery life, and performance. Another design tweak involves the rear camera module. While details remain uncertain, the leaks indicate slight differences in camera bump designs between the Air and Pro models. This aligns with previous rumors that Apple has been experimenting with the placement and layout of the rear camera